Okay, so I've been wanting to make a video about this for a while now, and I just haven't quite figured out how to do it, so I'm just going to wing it. Here it goes. In addition to my What's in Your Tool Bucket video, this is more geared towards the, youngsters graduating high school, trying to figure out their career path, and may end up in an industrial environment. So I have in front of me basically the collection of shoes I have in my camper at the moment. In front of you, you see a selection of shoes. A couple of pairs of boots, tennis shoes, my DCs, my Hey Dudes, my Crocs. And I'm going to go over a little bit about why I wear what I wear and kind of the thought process behind it. And part of me doing this video, you're going to have to do a little bit more research on your own because a lot of this is hit and miss information that I researched like years ago. But I'll give it my best shot. So let's just go ahead and start over here. We got my Hey Dudes and some Pumas. Now, the Hey Dudes are, quite honestly, a very comfortable casual shoe. They're lightweight, weigh nothing. It's like walking on pillows. It's nice, but you don't wear them to work. You ought to know that by now. You don't wear them to work. There's no safety toe. You don't. You may drive to work in them, change your shoes out later, but that's usually what I carry them for, is I'll probably swap shoes before I get in my vehicle and start driving. Those are comfortable. Now the Pumas, on the other hand, are a tennis shoe like safety toe shoe. Actually, let me grab something to knock it with so you can actually hear it better. It is a composite safety toe shoe. So it does meet a lot of specifications. I believe these are still Class E rated when I bought these. So they're good for electrical work and whatnot. But if you're on your feet a lot and not doing a lot of super heavy lifting or things like that, I believe these would be sufficient. But again, you're going to have to get with your company that you work with, because there are certain policies and safety policies in place that would outlaw these from job sites. One of them being there is no defined heel. And by defined heel, a lot of companies want you to be able to put the shoe on the ground and you can run a number 2 pencil basically in the arch. But here lately, I've had no problem wearing these to job sites. They're very common. And I wear them a lot because I sit in the control room a lot. I'm not actually out in the field as much as I'd like to be. So these are a nice alternative for a lightweight shoe that's comfortable, doesn't weigh me down, and when I do get the opportunity to go out in the field, I can go out and meet the minimum safety requirements. And again, these are for driving. And then I have these pair of boots over here, which are a short slip-on Chelsea style boot, because these are elastic. And there's actually a very good reason why I have these. And part of it is again, different companies, different safety cultures go about and want you to have specific attire. And a lot of times, again, this has a defined heel. It has a leather upper. All well and good. It's good for welding and all sorts of things, because, you know, leather shoes are usually a bit better. I believe these are still steel toe. I don't have a magnet to test that out. Hold on one second. Okay, I do have a magnet. These are a steel toe, leather upper, defined heel work boot. And these are comfortable. And this is more of a personal preference. When it comes to slip-on shoes or slip-on boots, I have a very hard time finding the right pair. And these Chelsea style boots have worked tremendously, because in a traditional pull-on style boot, First thing in the morning, you wake up, put your boots on, head out the door, go to work. As the day progresses, the more you're on your feet, the more my feet swell. It's just the nature of the beast. That's the reason why it's recommended when you get fitted for work boots. Again, I'll discuss that a little bit later. To do it, kind of mid-afternoon, so that way you can get a proper size. Because your feet change a little bit throughout the day, especially the more you walk on them and whatnot. Okay, one reason for the slip-on boots like this style is they're easy to take on and they're easy to take off. In relation to the whole feet swelling thing, as the day progresses, your feet swell and it gets harder to pull the slip-ons off. Or at least that is my personal experience. So, that's one reason why I have those. They're a very comfortable boot. Again, Crocs for around the camper, around the house. And I have my heavy-duty lace-up Thorogoods. Again, these are, I think these are composite toe. Let's check. No, these are safe, steel toe as well. These are the hardest working boots I have. And I have actually, it's almost time to get these resold, because my tread wear is basically flat on the balls where my feet go. Again, very comfortable boot. But when you're wearing such a heavy boot for 12, 16 hours a day, it does wear you down. Which is one reason why I have multiple pairs of boots. Because as you can see, this one does have a lining, so it's water resistant, not waterproof. Never get a waterproof boot unless you just want to sit in your own sweat. But even then, my feet sweat just enough to where it's uncomfortable. Which brings me to why I have multiple pair of work shoes. Rotate your work shoes out. Your feet will thank you. I'm just going to leave it at that. And again, my DCs over here, which are not really great work attire for the industrial environment. But if you watch any of my other videos, you know I wear those a lot working around the shop. And they're just a suede upper. A little bit of abrasion resistance, a little bit of heat resistance. For most of the things I do in the shop, that is adequate footwear. But you'll also see me wearing my actual steel toe boots from time to time. Now that we're talking about these different boots, I went into a little bit about why I don't like slip-ons, but I like that style slip-on boot is because my feet swell. Well, having a pair of lace-up boots allows you to, but one, tie your shoe to where it adequately, properly secures to your foot. Your foot's not sliding around. In fact, on a 12-hour shift, walking around, just doing nothing but walking down valves, pumps, whatever it is, startup procedures, I would rather wear these heavier boots than those slip-ons, because the slip-ons are still just a hair on the loose side. And I will wear blisters on my foot with that, where wearing these heavier boots, my feet are just tired. So that's something to keep in mind, because the more secure you can put your foot in the boot, the better it is for you. And I highly recommend, I need to find some videos to link or just give you a general description. Watch a lot of hiking videos, especially for these people who are quote-unquote professional hikers, adventurists, and whatnot. And they can go into a lot more detail about how and why foot attire is supposed to fit. But again, with a lace-up boot like this, you can get a more secure feel, and you don't wear blisters in your feet and whatnot. It's just overall a better boot. Again, it being heavier, you do have a tendency to wear them out. Now, the third thing to discuss is overall construction. Again, over there you got sneaker style, basic overmold sole and whatnot. I've had a couple of pairs of these, and usually by year 1 or 2 or whatever, the outsole starts delaminating and it turns into a safety hazard, so you just throw them away. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. These boots over here, my leather boots, have I believe these are called a Goodyear style welt. In theory, these are supposed to be repairable, but I've actually worn out boots. Well, not anymore because I don't work in a lot of limestone and caustic and acidic facilities anymore. But I would actually burn up the leather before I'd actually burn up the sole, and it'd just be time to change boots out. But in reality, these should be a repairable item. Same things with these Thorogoods over here. The way these are constructed, you can undo the welt, pull the sole out, or a cobbler could, a talented cobbler, pull the sole out, and you would have less invested in the boots rather than just spending $250 every year on a new pair of boots. And again, with the overmold construction, it's just nothing but glue, and they will start to delaminate and become a more safety hazard. Maybe this video makes sense. But yeah, that's what I got. And I highly recommend to the youngsters, or actually there's even, a lot of other guys out there who probably don't realize this, but go out to your local Red Wing store. And by local, I mean there's usually one within 100 miles of where you're at. Or go to, a Boot Barn or Cavender's, someplace, and actually try on your boots. I would like to try a pair of like brunt work boots that you see advertised online a lot, but I have a hard time like with the Thorogoods, because there's no Thorogood retailer around me. I've actually gone through about 4 different pairs of boots to find the style and size that properly fits my foot. Because even though I've actually gotten 2 different style of Thorogoods, and they're 2 different sizes to fit my foot the exact same. So try everything on if you can. Again, do it about midday when your foot's kind of swollen after walking around all day, and get you a properly fitted pair of work boots. Your feet will thank you, your back will thank you, and you can continue working longer and safely. And if you made it to the end of this video, consider dropping a like, subscribe, comment, whatever it is. And yeah, take care of your feet. They'll take care of you, because you got to have them for a long time. Anyway, deuces. See you on the Project Truck.